Loktarogar. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, everyone's favorite orc mercenary, and it's time for another orc mode workout. So, I stepped on the scale today at 225.6. I am down 5 pounds, 5.2 pounds actually, what is it, something like that, I don't know, I've lost count, 5 pounds roughly, since my DEXA scan last Friday. The water is swooshing off. There's no way I lost 5 pounds of body fat. Not even biologically possible. So, there's been definite water weight loss. I'm sure there's been fat loss because you don't go into enough of a caloric deficit to drop water while training without losing body fat, you know, several pounds. But obviously, I seriously doubt more than 2 pounds, if that, has been body fat. You just got to look at it that way. I am noticing, though, that I feel it a little bit in my training today. It's just kind of that fatigue, and I think that's normal when glycogen stores are dropping a little bit and you're holding less muscle and less glucose and everything. Glycogen, sorry, it would be glycogen technically, in your muscle tissue. But I mean, I still got through my workout. I got through my workout just fine. But I felt it a little bit, just kind of that little bit of extra fatigue. And so, you know, like I stopped at 2 back offsets on squats today. And actually after I squatted, I went to the shooting range and then came back and did my bench press. And then took a long nap and then got up and did my other stuff. I kind of spaced it out a little bit. But I got it all done. And that's kind of the thing that I have to realize with some of this. And I've got to put that in perspective. I've really been worried, oh man, I lost muscle or whatever. It's technically not what my scan showed. It showed loss of lean mass. Considering I had dropped like 4 pounds in 2 weeks leading into the DEXA scan, because kind of running a little bit of a bigger caloric deficit, I probably lost intermuscular water and glucose, you know, particularly like in my legs because I was doing cardio with it. You know, that's reasonable, and I probably shouldn't panic that much, but it does put me in the mindset of understanding the importance right now of stimulating muscle growth and doing a bit more volume and a few more reps while cutting, right? Because, I mean, muscle loss is a real concern. Lean tissue weight and fat-free mass in general. Fat-free mass is going to be lost when you're in a caloric deficit. It is virtually impossible not to, even if you don't lose any muscle. In fact, even if you recomposition a little bit, you will lose lean body mass, right? Because there's more to it than just muscle tissue. That is going to happen. Anyone who's ever done DEXA scans or looked at the biology behind it knows that's what happens, and there's a lot of reasons why. So you need to be acutely aware of it, though, because, I mean, even loss of any fat-free mass, if you can avoid losing fat-free mass in general, it's probably better for your overall metabolic rate for successfully continuing to lose body fat. So ideally, you want to preserve as much as possible, and that means, again, stimulating as much muscle growth as possible, even training your muscles to try to hold a little more glucose, right? You're trying to just keep your total energy turnover a little bit higher, because that is part of the key to a successful fat loss. So I have to keep that in perspective no matter what. But the fact that I've dropped 5 pounds in less than a week on the scale, and it's been consistently going down like a pound a day, lets me know that some of that is possibly just glucose. And honestly, if I don't want my fat-free mass to drop significantly on DEXA scans, I should probably carb up a little bit better the day before. You know, I should probably do that if I want the results to look better. And that's being realistic, because I'm actually, the last week, I replaced some of my carbs with just healthy fats. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm trying to train myself to be less hungry, right? Because we can talk about discipline all we want, but you get discipline from habits. You get discipline from your actions. Right? And I dare anybody to challenge that. I dare anybody to challenge that. Anyone who says that's not true is full of shit. Your actions create discipline. And in this case, I'm eating a lot of protein and it's actually keeping my hunger down, but I've also have been fiber loading like crazy, eating large amounts of really fibrous carbs. And that fills me up and it keeps my stomach volume higher, but I've also got to sit back and say, okay, if the protein will handle satiety, do I really need to feel like my stomach is full 24/7? Or can I just get some more of my calories from just good food choices that are even more calorically dense, like nuts. What I mean, I'm eating healthier fats. I'm eating peanut butter and I'm eating walnuts. That's what I mean. Let me just be very specific. Mostly monounsaturated, fibrous, have some fiber in them, and a good nutrient profile foods, right? It is giving me a little lower stomach volume. And part of that is going to be I need to really train myself to just have my stomach volume smaller so that my stomach shrinks a little bit, to just help with long-term appetite control. Because that's the key to all of it. I mean, it really is the key to meaningful changes in long-term body fat. You know, and again, this is me being realistic. This is me being honest with myself. If I'm going to be honest with myself and do a viable strategy, I have to drop any of the bullshit. I have to drop the self-lies. I have to get rid of all those coping mechanisms. And I think we all agree I have them. It's just like we all do. I have them. And I need to fess up to those things. Now, sorry about this, guys. On my back off set coming up, I hit the uprights really hard on the 3rd rep, and I had to rack it. I'm like, shit, I really was going to do a 5-rep set. So I decided to make up for it on the dips later, which I did. But you guys will see it. So I ended up really cutting my set short. And that's the beauty of this style of training. Since you're doing all this stuff every day, each individual session doesn't become a big deal. If something goes wrong, it goes wrong. But back to the point with the fat loss in this. I really have to train myself to have better habits. And again, I mean, the fact I've dropped 5 pounds again this week, I think is indicative of it. The fact that I planned even before the DEXA scan, even though the DEXA scan didn't go as good as I had planned, that I really didn't, there was my hitting the uprights, that I decided ahead of time I really shouldn't be having a cheat day, right? I shouldn't be having a cheat day. Cheat days are 90% of the reason that I'm not lean. So that needs to go away. That needs to go away for a while, for quite a while. That might need to go away for all of this year, all the way through December. That might need to go away till I can get down to like 210 pounds or something, just like 15 more from where I'm at now. I need to be out of that mindset that earning a cheat day, because all that's doing is going to put a pound or two of fat back on me and reinforce my bad habits. I'm not far enough out of all of my bad eating habits as a bulking fat power lifter to really play that game. So some of it's going to be just conditioning myself to just having a lower food volume in my stomach by still getting high quality nutrition, right? So that's part of the strategy that I need to get used to. And I just have to accept that fact that I'm going to have to do that. And you know what? If I just have less stomach volume every day and I just accept it, that I might be a little bit hungry, get over it. All right, that's, again, part of the successful keys here to managing the appetite. Today on the deadlift, guys, I just did some double overhand. Again, good way to keep from overtraining, though, when you're deadlifting every day. Do only double overhand and occasionally some hook grip. That will keep you from overtraining on it, that's for sure, because it will limit the weight you can do while still training the movement pattern and training your grip. A little bit of a tip there. Then I did my pull-ups, my 3 sets of 6 from the dead hang, and then I knocked out like 13 dips, I think. So again, just kind of going through the motions of the training, and I know it's not as exciting because, guys, I'm in a decent-sized caloric deficit. I'm losing body fat, and the training is here just to hold on to what I have, burn a few more calories, and try to hold on to every single ounce of muscle that I can while I lose a significant amount of body weight. Because realistically speaking, even though I'm down to 225 with this big swoosh, I'm easily 15 pounds from where I know I need to be this year. We're coming up with 3 months left this year. I'm still really 15 pounds away from where I need to be ideally. I'm going to have to just suck it up. I'm going to have to suck it up. And just stay committed to the goal, which again I am. You know, people can say whatever they want. Oh, you know, you only lost so much amount of weight. Guys, I'm down over 25 pounds since I started filming these workouts. I was over 250 the first time you guys saw me doing these workouts on camera. I just weighed in at 225 this morning. You know, I was 230 on my DEXA, but I also ticked up a little bit a couple days before. But, you know, we'll call it that. But even that was over 20 pounds. Well, now I'm 225, guys. And I'm still maintaining my diet. I'm still putting in the work. You know, I'm just going to have to stick it out. Just see it through to the end until I get acceptably lean. Then we can rebuild that strength base. Use all that muscle memory to re-get it all back, baby. And then some more. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. And I will talk to you guys next time.